I'm a massive Yu-Gi-Oh fan, well, of the anime, because I don't play the card game anymore. I'm good off that mess of a game, but every so often I'll spend some time rewatching different Yu-Gi-Oh series, primarily Yu-Gi-Oh Zexal, because in my opinion it is the best written Yu-Gi-Oh series of all time. And while I was rewatching episodes, seeing the things that the secondary antagonist in the series gets up to got me thinking, wow, this guy is a hater, like Kendrick Lamar levels of hating. With that description, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm talking about the biggest hater and troll in all of Yu-Gi-Oh, self-proclaimed strongest Barian warrior, Vector. So in this video I'll be going over all the insanity Vector gets up to while discussing just how much of a generational hater he is. Before the main plotline, Vector's past was that of a ruthless king that wanted smoke from everyone. When one of his soldiers tried to give him advice, he would just murder them on sight. Like, everyone in the kingdom was begging for him to stop the war, and Vector was like, nah, more bodies need to drop, and everyone that speaks up is going to drop as well. Like, Vector even went out of his way to have a duel against Nash where it was a shadow duel that anytime monsters hit the graveyard, that means like troops on the battlefield would die. So then Vector decided, yeah, I'm just gonna make a mill deck so that more of your soldiers can die. Just devious work. Then fast forward to the main timeline, Vector was the one who instigated the beef between Dr. Faker and Tron, making him responsible for all of the events in the first season of Zexal, so you already know that this guy meant business. But the second season of Zexal is when we really get to witness a masterclass that is Vector, taking the form of Shingetsu and becoming Yuma's close friend, cloning himself to set up an elaborate scheme to where Yuma thinks Vector killed Shingetsu, causing Yuma to lose his cool due to grief and guilt. And then Vector reveals to Yuma that Shingetsu and himself are the same person, and because Yuma decided to add cards into his deck from Vector to symbolize their trust in each other, it results in a deck out strategy being activated, leaving Yuma with only 3 cards left in his deck. When Vector reveals a shocking truth to Yuma, this was his meet the Grams moment. Yuma was cooked, because even when they tried to use Zexal, Vector had that big brain IQ and starts putting doubt in Astral's mind. Yuma's got a weird case, why is he around? And if not for Yuma and Astral having Yu-Gi-Oh plot armor on their side and literally committing illegal plays and changing the effects of the card on the spot, Vector is taking the dub of that duel. Like, even though what he did was underhanded, I just have an insane amount of respect that he went through all of that planning and everything just went perfectly. Like, again, if it wasn't for plot, Vector wins there. And you know what? Game is game. Like, when you really deep it, Vector should have won that duel. I need everyone to comment hashtag Vector top 1. But then Vector meets Yuma again after his defeat, and the dude finally clocked that he doesn't need to play a children's card game to end the kid. Vector just activates Coliseum traps in an attempt to kill Yuma. But Vector's antics during this section of the story are child's play compared to the actions he commits later on. Once the Barian War arc starts, Vector is on his Franklin Saint timing. He immediately takes control of Gilag and Alito, turning them into puppets to set up his rebellion against Nash. Then after Gilag captures Nash, Vector begins a duel with Durbe and Merag to kill and absorb them, with the main twist being that anytime Vector takes damage and heals from it, Nash's life energy is being used as fuel. And thanks to Don Thousand's throne, unless they kill him in one shot, he's just always going to keep healing. It's just a cracked and just ruthless strategy. You would think this strategy would be used as a hostage situation, where Vector would just be like, okay, you know, since you don't want to hurt Nash, they're probably not going to try to damage me, but Vector goes out of his way to inflict damage on himself just so that he can make Nash suffer more. This duel is also when we get the reveal of Vector's main motivation for wanting to kill Nash. He simply hates him. There's no deeper meaning than this, but because it would be so wrong to just kill Nash for no reason, Vector reveals that he set up a point system that whenever Nash pisses him off, a point would be added until 1 million points were acquired. That meant a point anytime Nash did literally anything, and you just know that Vector improvised this whole explanation just to piss off Nash and Merag even further. This reveal is one of the main reasons why I love Vector so much. There's no deep philosophical reasoning for why he acts the way he does. The man just moves on pure, unjustified raw hatred, which is entertaining as hell, and the Vector shenanigans don't stop there. After killing and absorbing Merag, Durbe, Gilag, and Alito, Vector begins his final duel against Nash. The beef between these two characters is fantastic. Vector starts using the signature monsters of Nash's fallen comrades against him, typical villain strategies. But what really makes this duel so insane is the reveal that Don Thousand altered Vector's memories to make it look like he killed his own parents, which is what resulted in Vector going insane. So in an attempt to atone, Vector grants Nash's monsters in order to sacrifice himself against Don Thousand, which at this moment you really are thinking that Vector has had a change of heart since he has been manipulated throughout the entire series. But then Vector just trolls Nash and uses this opportunity to set up his boss monster. The dude literally says, yeah, I had an idea that you might have been manipulating me, but I don't care. I need my ops dead. Had Yuma screaming at the top of his lungs to stop Nash from killing Vector moments prior. Nasty work from Vector. To make matters even worse, once Vector loses to Nash and is about to die from Dawn 1000 absorbing him, the man performs the bait and switch tactic again. Vector ends the series going 3-0 when it comes to finessing Yuma. Vector does end up having a change of heart in the end thanks to Yuma's unwavering kindness, but wow, this guy Vector was something else. Like, I have people in my life that I dislike, but Vector showed me that is child's play in comparison. What he was doing throughout Zexal was real hating, just complete love for the game. From start to finish, this man was on a mission of hatred and did not disappoint, arguably making him the most entertaining Yu-Gi-Oh antagonist. But let me know in the comments who is your favorite antagonist in Yu-Gi-Oh, or honestly your favorite antagonist in anime that is an elite hater. If you stuck around till the end of the video, I just want you to know that I appreciate you. And if you want to talk to me about anime related topics, join my Discord server. Also consider becoming a channel member, another way to support me, and I support you back with shoutouts at the end of the video, early access to new videos, custom emotes, and members only videos depending on which level of membership you decide to choose. And if you're someone that enjoys anime content that keeps it real, consider subscribing so when I hit 10k, you can brag about being a day one. I gotta get back in the kitchen to cook. Peace. No, what's happening to me? I never have this issue with recording. I never have this issue. I always, like, maybe I'll mess up a line 1 to 3 times and I gotta record certain sections. But this many times, nah, this is ridiculous. I can't do this.